Because if let's say I stuck my hand in a fire and the fire really hurt me, next time whenever I see a fire, in my subconscious mind, I already know that's danger, fear.
So you make a choice not to touch it.
So that means, even from what you're saying, it actually means that we get mature from experiences, right?
Say there are some people, because maturity isn't just the experience, it's also what you learn from those experiences. You can have a lot of experiences, but if you don't learn anything from it, it's just things that happen to you.
In a way,
because humanity, we always grow.
Yeah.
True.
And in order for you to mature, you need to grow, and growing is through experiences.
True.
So
Then it's the same. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to another episode of the HeartOnPause podcast. Just as you all know, I'm always here with Davis, my brother, just as you all know. Maybe you introduce yourself again.
Oh yeah, I'm Davis Noah.
Voilà.
Davis Noah. I know.
And you're here with Cindy Lily. But today we have a special guest.
Very special.
We have a special guest. And I would like you to introduce yourself, please.
Most people know me as Appiah. But my name is Kofi Appiah Dente. It's still the same. So, yeah. Thank you very much for having me.
Did you have to say your full name though?
I like to say it.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. Whatever.
It gives a show of,
Whatever, then let's go on. Everybody knows you, Kofi Appiah, then the TED.
Thank you for that.
Voilà, we just go on. Alice, today our topic is maturity.
It's a very broad one.
Maturity.
It's a very broad one.
It's very broad. I mean, when even thinking about this topic, before I even chose it, I was like, I knew you could be the right person for it. Because I put people's names on it before even asking you what you wanted to choose.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And I even sent it. I was like, "Oh, can you pick maturity alone?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, no problem." He just went with the flow because I knew such a topic. Like I know you, so I also know like how you react in certain situations.
Yes. Okay.
So I think for me personally, I think it's a bit mature. But does maturity actually have to do with age, do you think? Why are you doubting yourself?
Oh, no, I'm not doubting myself, but to one person, somebody is mature. To the other person, somebody is not.
It depends on the
it
person.
depends on the perspective that you're looking from, I would say.
Your point of view, basically.
So, based on your question that you just asked, is maturity connected to age? I would say no. And most people will say, also no. It's not connected to age.
Elaborate.
Oh, of course, a person can be matured.
Can you get closer to the microphone? Thank you.
A person can be matured based on experience. Me personally, I would say it's based on my experience. That's why I react in certain situations differently than other situations. Other people.
Okay.
Example.
Okay. And do you think, what's the thought process like?
The thought process is fear, I would say.
That's an interesting point.
That's a very interesting point.
How so?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, in situations, in order to be effective in your decisiveness, it's fear. You need to draw a line between the fear, the negative fear, and the positive fear of it. The positive fear of it, I would say, that's the pleasure that you get out of the decision that you made.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I put fear connected to that directly. So I don't know if it makes sense.
I don't really get it.
A bit more, a little bit more.
Throw more light on it. Maybe give an example.
Okay. I would say, it's somewhat because I can't think of an example.
No, you don't have an example. No, it's not. It's not a problem. It's fine. My only question is like, how do you connect positive fear to a negative fear to a decision you're about to make it mature in the situation?
The reason why I put fear in it, maybe fear was too much of a big word to use.
Maybe.
Yeah, but if you're gonna make decisions, personally, I draw a line between what is to gain out of the decision.
So the pros and the cons.
The pros and cons of the decision. And I feel like it's based on your experience. You need to have an experience to draw that line.
True. If you don't have anything to draw from, you can't draw a line. So.
And in order to draw that line and the experience, the fear that you have from your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Do you get what
I'm getting it.
Okay.
I'm getting it. Do you get it?
A little bit. A little
Okay,
bit. But
he's
still,
going on.
Yeah, I'm still
Go on.
trying to follow.
Because if let's say I stuck my hand in a fire
Mm-hmm.
and the fire really hurt me, next time whenever I see a fire, in my subconscious mind, I already know that's danger, fear.
So you make a choice not to touch it.
Okay, yes.
So you get it.
And then you become mature on that aspect.
Yeah, we get so that means, even from what you're saying, it actually means that we get mature from experiences, right?
Yeah.
Experiences are
Through pain, basically.
through experience, through things we go through.
Yes.
We get mature from those situations.
Yeah, I would say.
So doesn't it mean that maturity comes with age then?
Maturity, no, you can meet somebody who is well-aged, but in the things that the person would say or the doings that the person would do could be very immature to certain people. Like,
I think I have something. Say there are some people, because maturity isn't just the experience; it's also what you learn from those experiences. You can have a lot of experiences, but if you don't learn anything from it, it's just things that happen to you. That's it. But say that's why there are a lot of older people who should be more mature than they are, but aren't, because they didn't learn from those said mistakes that they made or said things that happened in their life, in their life. So I think that's where it kind of stems from. So say I see fire, I touch it, it burns me. Next day I see it again and I touch it again. I didn't learn anything from it. No. So
there's no maturity in that situation.
I just did the same thing again.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it can come from something like that.
Yeah, but I think just as we were saying, like we were connecting it to age. I think my perspective on it is like it links to growth then, because growth is learning. Say you stuck your hand in fire, you got burnt. Now you're not stuck in it again because you know it's going to burn you. Yeah, you grew from that situation. So maturity is equal to growth then.
In a way,
because humanity, we always grow.
Yeah,
true.
And in order for you to mature, you need to grow. And growing is through experiences.
True.
So
then it's the same.
It's the same as growth, yes. Yeah. But again, maturity is a very broad thing that, let's say, you can be very mature as a politician. You know a lot about politics. But you can meet a doctor, you can be very mature because doctor has a different field. You know what I mean?
They have a different point of view in life than a politician does.
Exactly. A philosopher will just sit down to a politician and say, straight, you're a liar.
Yeah.
A public person, a civilian, will say to a politician, oh, you are God because you're making the rules for me. You know what I mean? So
it depends on the perspective then.
From,
it's perspective. For me personally, I have a saying, life is all about perspective. Perspective is everything.
True.
Perspective, context.
So how you react in a situation, somebody can say it's immature then.
Yes, people will say immature. But again, even Jesus, people saw him as a bad person. So somebody saying you are immature doesn't mean you are immature. You just need to go deeper within yourself.
Yeah.
Do you personally think it is? And maybe it might be mature enough for you.
Yes.
In the sense that you have grown to that point that you can make that choice specifically for you. It might seem immature for other people, but for you, it's probably the best you can do at that point.
At that point in your life. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's based on your experience.
So it also boils down to knowing who you are and knowing what you deserve in this life.
I feel like that's where everything starts.
Deserve is a strong word.
You deserve? No.
We don't deserve anything.
It's what you get based on
what you give.
Your work. You reap what you sow. It's in the Bible too.
Because I don't believe anyone deserves anything.
You don't.
If we deserve things, I don't think the world will still be running right now.
You don't deserve anything. Why would I say that? Because I feel like everything has been given to you already. You have the knowledge. You have the wisdom. So everything is given to you. You just need to work
take it and use it.
Take it. You just need to use it. Use it. That's the right word. Use it.
That's true though.
Deserve, I don't think we don't deserve anything.
Nah.
Or if we got what we deserved, things didn't go that well.
Exactly.
Because
true though.
Human beings are so naturally flawed if we got what we deserved, we wouldn't be here.
We wouldn't be here. We don't deserve to be here.
Yeah. Well, that's also a big thing. That's why I say we don't deserve anything, whether good or bad. Because if we got what we deserved, we wouldn't know what will be going on right now.
Do you have something to say?
Thinking about deserve and maturity, does somebody who is well aged, let's say, are we all religious here? Sorry, that's
You can say that.
Well,
or do we? No.
Question
Okay, do we believe in the Bible?
Yes, I believe in the Bible.
I have my doubts.
I believe in the Bible.
Okay. Well, then I will ask this question: Can you gain, or can you grow, or can you become matured? Let's say, by religious standards.
It depends, I think.
Yeah.
If you say religious standards, I don't know how you mean by that.
Oh, cause
By the Bible standards, you mean?
well, yeah, for the, like say by the Bible standard, because the Bible it speaks about elders a lot.
True. And it speaks about experiences that people have gone through. So I think you can be mature based on these standards because you see what people did. Because just as you said in the beginning, it's all about learning from experiences and not repeating things that have already been done. Okay. It's not only things that happen to you, but things that have happened to other people and you learn from it and not repeat the same thing. So if you think in the Bible, you saw an experience somebody went through, and you're like, I think this will help my life. And you learn from it and you don't repeat it in your life. You get mature with it. You get mature as you grow and you're like, oh, let me read it. It's a basic guideline on this earth that we're living. Like, it's like we came here, that's the map. Take it. That's what sometimes that's how I see, because there are a lot of things you don't know how to, there's a lot of things sometimes we don't know how to react in certain situations. Sometimes you are stuck, you are like, oh, this is morally, I don't know. But sometimes logically, you might think what you're doing is right. But sometimes if you can compare to different things in life, like compared to a basic guideline or maybe a book you've read before, like, let me go and take that textbook and see what the textbook says. I think when you do that, you actually get different perspectives. And getting those perspectives, you eventually going to choose what you think is right for you. And just as we were saying, everyone has what is right in their head. So if that, I feel like I follow the Bible, I believe in the Bible. I feel like everything in the Bible that I've read is right. And then I've tried to follow it. And I don't get those consequences that I know that would have come from that situation, then I feel like I'm mature in a way.
Okay, that
doesn't make sense.
It makes sense, and
yeah,
it does, isn't it?
In a way, yeah.
In a way,
I mean, everything has its nuances, So yeah, you can learn from the Bible, but we should also say, the Bible has everything, and I mean everything.
Yeah,
good, bad. So it's a guideline, all right. But
evil.
Again, yeah, it has everything from A to Z. So it depends on how you look at it from.
Yeah.
There are some people, it's the reason why some people can commit these atrocities and base it on the on the word of God.
I mean, that's their perspective of it. Yeah. You get me? Because when people read it, everybody has their own understanding to it as well. So just as we said in the beginning, like maturity is also based on how somebody sees it. Like I can see you react in a situation, I'll be like, oh, that's very immature. And where Kofi can say, oh, that's actually very mature of you. Yeah. You get me? So it stems from perspective. When I read it and I read maybe what King Solomon did, I'm like, he took 700 wives or whatever, I'll be like, that's very immature of him. And somebody will be somewhere be like, oh, that's very smart of him.
He was the wisest.
He was the wisest. I mean, you get me? So that's how it is. It's from perspective in the end.
Yeah,
and it's
really
from how you see
point
it.
of view.
Yeah,
just like, say, I have anger issues. And after a while, my anger issues causes me to hate people. After a while, I stop hating people and I just cuss them out. Someone who is closer to me, who knows I used to hate people, will say that's very mature of him, not hating him and cussing him out instead. But someone just looking by would be like, that's a very immature dude. So, point of view.
Point of view.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you would say point of view, but majority of the people don't look at the backstory too. They don't even care.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the thing.
We just want what we see now.
True.
So, again, maturity again will be double standards.
Yeah.
In a way that in order to know if somebody is actually mature, you need to actually know the person's life, or the person sits down and talks to you about the life
Before
story.
you say that.
Before you can say, okay, this person is matured.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in order for you yourself to even define mature, you need to be matured yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. In order to know it, I think in life, in order to know
what is
anything,
maturity?
in order to know anything, you need to be it before you actually are able to.
That's a very good. A good question.
I like the fact that you said that. So then I'll put something into different perspective right now. So you just mentioned about the Bible, right? About the experiences, about the experiences that you have in the Bible. Okay, if you don't do this experience, it makes you a better person. But if you don't want to go through that experience because you read about it, is that not a sense of a fear?
How so?
Because you read about it, it warned you, so you don't want to go in it.
Yeah,
right? You don't want to experience it. It's about driving. It's like, let's say driving, for example. If somebody will tell you how driving is like, but you don't experience it yourself, you never drive because somebody told you. So you don't want,
or something like that.
Yeah, so you don't want to be in that situation. Is that not sort of a fear?
It is a fear.
It is a fear. Okay, so in order for you to be matured, you need to have fear.
True. I personally don't think fear is a bad thing. Fear is a warning. Tells you what to do and what not to do. What's good, what's bad, for you. So it's kind of like say you're going somewhere and it's really dark outside. You're going through a very small alleyway or something like that. And you've heard stories about that place of people, say, getting robbed and stuff like that. And you're going through it and you feel fear. And that makes you turn around and go the longer route and still get home safe. I think that's a good thing. It's a warning sign. Don't do this. It could go wrong. Not that it will. It could. It's not always that you should listen, but sometimes you should.
Yeah, we do a lot of things based on fear, to be honest. A lot of rules, because when you look at rules and laws that are made, there's always like a consequence behind it. And due to the fear of the consequences, you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
You see?
So would you agree with me? Fear is taught.
Fear is taught then.
It is taught.
Yeah.
Okay, so a human can be fearless and still be matured.
Well,
you bring
that's a difficult question to. Yeah, that's a very difficult question.
Where did you get all these questions from?
Oh no, because I like to know how people think.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I think I think very open-minded, and I understand everybody based on whatever action that they did, even though it's against me, whatever.
I get it from your point.
They had a right reason
to do what they did.
Yes. For me, I need to just decide for myself: am I going to justify it? Or am I not going to justify it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like to just know how people think about certain situations. So it's like maturity. Okay, what is maturity actually?
I mean, it's just as we said in the beginning. I think learning from experiences and not having to repeat the same.
Learning from experiences, but okay.
Not necessarily having not to experience it, but just learning from them.
Learning from things.
Whether you choose to repeat or not.
And experiences creates some sort of fear. Right? And I just ask, can you be fearless and still mature?
But that brings a question. What is fearless? Who is this ideal person that's fearless? Yeah. What does he look like?
It says it. I would say fearless. So it's like not fearing.
So someone without fear.
Yeah.
I think that person would be not alive. Yeah. True, because we need fear. There are some things, there are some things you do which are based on fear. They keep you alive. Your fear keeps you in boxing. There's this thing where you should go into the ring without fear. But fear needs to keep you from dying in the ring.
True.
I like that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
You should go in there without fear, meaning you showing your toughness and all of that. But your reflexes,
it needs to be.
It reacts on fear.
True.
You've seen this before. You've seen that when someone punches you at this side of your head is going to ring. So your reflexes take over based on that type of fear, and they move you out of the way. Because you've trained for it multiple times, it becomes a natural thing for you to do. So fear is important.
I think even
a fearless person wouldn't be alive right now, because they would have made a dumb decision and would have gotten themselves killed.
True though. Because in life, like people go about life like, oh, I'm fearless, I can do everything. And somebody will go and be like, oh, I'm going to jump off 40 meter or whatever. And then if you have the fear, you still stay alive.
Yeah,
you can do it and still stay alive.
Well,
but
not for long.
Not for long. I mean, it can hurt you. But are you going to... I feel like the fact that you choose to be fearless in that moment, it doesn't necessarily make you mature or not, because you just want to experience it and see how it is. When you do it and you get back alive, somebody, oh, that's actually a very good thing you did. But sometimes when you do and you fall and you die, that's very immature of you.
Again, perspective.
Like
I said from the beginning, for the one person, you will be mature.
Be a good thing, yeah.
For the other person,
that's dumb.
Exactly. So
true. It's about knowing who you are.
So,
but I also
would say, your answer, maturity. What is maturity? Open-minded. Just
being open to learn.
Your mind is just so open, so broad, that you just accept things as it is.
Accept things as it is. How do you mean? How do you link that to open-mindedness?
I accept the things that I can, let's say, control.
True. Okay.
So if somebody, let's say, like I made an example, somebody does me something, based on the person's actions, I'm not entitled to that. I can't change that. The person is writing his own destiny.
True.
The person is writing his own destiny. I'm writing mine.
Okay.
That's what my definition would be of, let's say, maturity.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes sense. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes you think also.
It makes you think about life. Yeah. I mean, your perspective on these issues, it makes you like think otherwise, like, oh, okay, there's another perspective to it. You get me? Because everyone, just as we said, is perspective. Everyone has the way they think about mature situations. And if you act some way and I see your life, I'm like, this guy is so immature. He does things that he doesn't think of. That's me. That's what I think.
That's your point of view.
That's my point of view. From somebody else's point of view,
different.
That could be different. So that's how it is. But I think maybe moving on, when it comes to like letting problems get to you, like you get problems in life, you go to work, at home. I mean, life problems, we all know that your reaction to these problems also make you mature or not.
I think it does.
Yeah.
It does, right?
Yeah, it does. It depends on how you react to anything. So basically, life is things being thrown at you, and you have to decide what to do with it. You're given a lot of things. A lot of things are taken away. A lot of things happen, and you just got to sort of sort through it.
True.
Find the right ways to do it. That's what kind of shows whether you're mature or not. There are people where something will be thrown at them, and they'll react very poorly. That's not... From one's point of view, that could be seen as very immature because we are reacting to it very poorly.
Yeah.
Some would also react to it in a very matured way, as we say it. Yeah. They would sort of think about it. They wouldn't rush to make decisions and all of those things. They'll think twice about it, and from there they will make their choices, which could help, but not always.
Yeah. When you were saying that, I have this point that I wrote down, like not being swift to speak, not being fast to speak. Does that mean when people rush into decisions, like take decisions really fast or react very fast into situations, does that make them immature then? Because there are people who have that tendency of just doing these things.
Yeah, like impulsive
decisions.
I think as a person, you just need to think in general.
Yeah.
For me personally, I have this tendency in me, whenever I get angry or feel irritated, I just get quiet. Why? Because I don't want to say something that I'll have to come and say sorry later.
True.
You know what I mean? So if a person would act harsh in situations, for me, that person is not thinking and that person is not matured enough with his emotions.
Yeah. They're not taking the time. They're not breathing.
They're not breathing. Because there are certain things that could happen to you. You need to react directly. But those are emergency situations.
Yeah.
Those are the outliers. They don't happen that often. At least not to everyone.
What life situation do you have apart from death that is now emergency?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing, to be honest.
So-
Everything you can take your time.
Exactly. So
Or
everything
at
you
least you can make the choice to take your time. Doesn't mean you should, but you can.
can take
Yeah.
your time.
I actually like this point of view because for me personally, I'm a type of person who sometimes reacts very impulsively in situations.
We know.
No. It's like when I want something, I want it now and then. I don't think of...
Which is actually sometimes good.
Sometimes it's good,
It's
but
good.
I don't think of... Mostly, I don't sit down to think of, do I really need it now? Unless like maybe I speak about it with somebody and they're like,
They give you
actually,
the point of view.
their point of view, like,
Different
actually,
point of view, yeah.
you don't really need it now. And in my heart, I just think, I've done this planning now. It needs to happen now for me. You get me? And then it's not that I don't think, I've thought of it. And for me, I thought that it had to happen now. But then you speak to someone and you're like, it's not that bad. You're not dying.
You can breathe.
You can breathe. You're not going to die from this situation. Like, you can just wait and see. You get me?
Yeah. Again, sorry, it's just a question, open-minded question. Is that person demotivating you?
It depends.
Not demotivating. I don't think it's demotivating. Sometimes it can feel that way. I think sometimes it can feel that way because it's like I have done all my. I know this has to happen now, and maybe you're telling me it doesn't have to happen now. Sometimes it can be very calming because then it calms my soul. Like, wait, calm down. Life is not, we are not in a rush. Blah blah blah. But then sometimes I can also feel like but it actually has to happen. But if the person gives you that point of view, you choose to take it or not.
Yeah,
You know that.
It's also a
It's
choice.
their point of view. You choose to take it or not.
Yeah.
But
And
then
it's-
again, I think it depends. There are some, those people are necessary.
Okay.
The people that bring the questions and stuff like that, they go against you. Those people will always exist. They have existed from the beginning of time. They will exist till we die, which is good. They are the ones that bring the different point of views in the sense that sometimes it could be straight up hate.
Could be.
Could be, but it depends on how you see it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Perspective.
Perspective. We keep coming back to the same
it all,
point
comes,
of
it all
view.
comes back to that.
Perspective.
So maturity is equal to growth, equal to perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Again,
Literally.
you can. It's like, how do you know somebody loves you?
Depends.
Damn, that's a different.
That's a different question.
That's a
Oh, no,
whole new
that's a
topic.
whole-
No. That's a whole new topic. Exactly. Yeah. But it's again put it into a perspective as in if somebody would say I'm matured. If somebody would say, oh, I'm telling you because you are not ready for this adventure. But every great invention had somebody that was telling the inventor
That they couldn't do it,
exactly.
or they shouldn't do it.
That's why I asked you: is that person demotivating you?
I think it depends on what it is then.
Like the invention of cars. If they asked the people what they wanted, they would have asked for faster horses.
Probably. I mean, yeah. That's because that was the in that time. I feel like that's what the humanity was
That was
used
what
to.
they were used
They were
to.
used to. So
But
it's like,
when they broke the status quo and made cars, people realized, oh, okay, maybe this is possible too. So again, perspective.
I think in the end,
it all boils down to
it
the
boils
same
down
thing.
to the same thing, but also maybe to round this episode up, like in the end, it all boils down to what it is. Just as you said, as a human being, you need to think. You need to be able to think. So that will mean if I have something in my head I want to do, in my heart I want to do, and somebody keeps telling me, oh, I don't think maybe this is the time, I have to go back, think, and see, okay,
Are
weigh
they
the
right? Are
pros
they
and
wrong?
cons. It's not about they being right or wrong. Put those perspectives together and see, like, okay, let me just weigh it. How is it not right in this time? What is going to happen if I do it now? What is going to happen if I do it tomorrow? And if I weigh the pros and cons and I'm like, well, it can happen today, then I'm going to do it today.
Yeah.
It's about you thinking about your life and knowing who you are, knowing what you want. And if you know that, you create those experiences for yourself.
Exactly.
If I can add something to it, I feel like, well, as a humanity, the first step into becoming mature is looking within yourself who you are and where you are coming from.
Yeah.
History, humanity has existed for over a billion years. You are a billion, I don't know, but
A a few
thousand years, yeah,
a few million.
But so that means humanity always evolves, and I feel like, well, out of the 7 billion people, I think there's one smart guy who has written down the evolution of humanity, and reading where we are coming from, history always repeats itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
But
I mean,
true.
that's a good way to actually round everything.
That's actually really good.
I mean, this was a very difficult topic to talk about. I think
it's very broad.
It's very
Just like
broad, and you can't just say your
to
point
go
of
more,
view,
yeah.
and that's why we just said our point of view. So obviously, I think we can just round it up here. If you have your own point of view, you can say as well in the comments. We are just saying ours. To be honest, there's no right or wrong. So do well to follow us on our socials, and we'll see you next time on the next episode. So it's been me, Cindy Lily, and
Davis Noah,
and our guest
Kofi Appiah.
That's it. All right, bye.
Bye.